Matt Slick Live. Matt is the founder and president of the Christian Apologetics Research Ministry, found online at carm.org. When you have questions about Bible doctrines, turn to Matt Slick Live for answers. Taking your calls and responding to your questions at 877-207-2276. Here's Matt Slick.
All right, everyone, welcome back to the show. It's November 1st, which is an anniversary for me. I'm going to tell you about it. And I hope that everybody's going to have a good time. I just did a lot of research on COVID and released a document just a half hour ago. You guys might be interested in, I'm finding out. Something's going on. At any rate, so I'm going to be quitting on COVID here pretty soon. I'm going to go back to theology and stuff like that and all the research that I've been doing. But in the meantime, hey, folks, if you want to give me a call, all you got to do is dial 877-207-2276, and we can blab. We can talk about what you want to talk about. And no, Richard, I ran out of time. So I didn't have time to change my shirt. So everybody, so you know, my wife says, man, you got to wear nicer shirts. And so I have been. And but I just ran out of time today. I mean, ran out of time. I didn't even have time to change my shirt. Just things kind of caught up at the last minute. So that's why for the people in there. All right. And if you want to give me a call, 877-207-2276. Let me tell you what happened. Let's see. When I was 17 years old, and I'm now 64. So how many years ago was that? That was 47 years ago. A friend of mine, Dave, and I, we're still friends. We're going to high school. I was in high school, of course. This really happened. Okay, this is my anniversary. We often call each other on this day, and we talk. And hey, how's it going? Remember, because it's we almost got killed. That's what happened. So we're walking our bikes in Buena Park, California, going to high school, and people want me to tell the story, so I'm telling it. And we're on the left side, going up over the hill, over the freeway, over the overpass, over the freeway, on the left-hand side into traffic, you know, walking our bikes up the hill. And that's how we did it every day, you know, for a couple, 3 years, whatever it was. And this guy comes up over the horizon of the overpass and slams his brakes on us and just stops just a few feet in front of us. Dave is in front of me. This guy gets out of the van and slams the door and runs. We didn't know what's going on. And he runs over to Dave, and because Dave's in front, and grabs Dave by the shirt and starts screaming at him that says, you guys almost killed me. And we're like, what are you talking about? And we concluded later that we think it's something, somehow a rock or something came off the top of the overpass onto the freeway. And this guy, you know, we think something like that. We don't know. But this guy was screaming at Dave and I'm going to kill you guys. And, you know, wow. And this is back when I weighed 105 pounds. And I knew I couldn't beat this guy up. And so I got on my bike, I turned around and went down the hill to go find help because I didn't want the guy to catch me. And I realized I just left my buddy. And so I hit the brakes and I looked back and Dave is across the boulevard, across the street. His bike's laying on the side there. And the guy is in the van after me. And I just bolted. And I went down this hill, and I mean bolted, standing on the pedals. And there was a trailer park right at the base of this overpass, and I just careened in like 45-degree angle, just my bike just hauling in there. And this guy in his van, I could hear the tires on the pavement and then the gravel. It was gravel, and you could hear it sliding, and I mean close. And so I knew he was going to get me, so I jumped off the bike while it was going, and just went to the left and just bolted. And then this guy comes around, slides in his van, gets out, and he's on foot after me. And I hear him. And he was so close at one point that my left shoe had a tear in it from where his foot hit my shoe, and it ripped. And that's how close he was. And because I was small, I could change direction a lot. So what I did was I changed direction, and I was able to gain a couple of feet each time. And I could feel it, like he's just right behind me. I saw this field, and I thought I can go out into this field. But I thought, if I go out into this field and I fall down, it's over. So I stayed in the trailer park area, and I just did whatever I could. This guy's screaming at me, he's going to kill me. And I realized I'm not going to be able to last much longer from all this dodging. And I decided to bolt across the boulevard. And there was a building there, and there was a lot of cars around this. I figured it's like 7:15 in the morning, and we always went to school early. And I remember thinking, okay, there's going to be people there to help me. And I bolted right across the boulevard in between traffic. This guy's on my tail. And I went across the street, and I was able to get a car between him and me. And I'm breathing as hard as I can to catch my breath. And he would go to one side, I'd go to the other, and he kept trying to do this. And I kept going behind other cars. And then I see my friend Dave, and he's there, not near me, but he's with this guy who's got a chef's outfit on, white clothes, the hat. And this guy's got a big butcher knife. And I'm thinking, I got to get over there. That's where my safety is. And so I try to get over there, but this guy cut me off. It turns out that the guy with the butcher knife didn't speak English. He was Spanish. And the police later found out that he thought I was after him, my friend. And so he was going to protect my friend against me and this other guy. It's all confusion. It's a good thing I didn't get over there. And I'm just getting super exhausted. This guy's after me, and I know that I'm not going to make it much longer. And I see an open door, and it's black, and there's cars not too far from it. I don't know what this building is, but I just decide I'm going in there because there's got to be people in there. And I bolted into this door, not knowing what was there. If I was going to trip over something, slam into something, who knows? I just went in, and I've never had my eyes adjust so fast to the dark as that day. And I ran in, and I saw that it was a bar where you have drinks, and there was no exit. And I've run in to my right. There's like 2 or 3 guys sitting at a bar, and there's a couple of guys to the left and a bartender. And I run back to the last wall, and I back up against the wall, and then I see the bad guy. He's there at the window, at the door, and he sees me, and he starts walking towards me because I can't get out. And I said, there was this humongous guy just sitting like 6 feet from me. I said, I didn't do anything. This guy's trying to kill me. Help me. That's all I said. And right when the bad guy got to me, this big man stood up and just stood between the guy and me and said, there'll be none of that in here. No fighting in here. Like that. And I'm just sort of, help me. Because I was super small, And this guy the bad guy had to weigh his opportunity and decided not to mess with this guy. And so he left. And he says, I'm like, you wait, I'm going to find you. Like that. I'm like, who is this guy? So I'm inside the bar for like 15 or 20 minutes. I wouldn't go outside and then nobody said anything. No one called the cops, no one anything, right? And so I didn't know this, but Dave had already called the police, and they were already there. The guy with the blue van is gone, and they can't find me. So they're putting out an APB that I was kidnapped. So I'm sitting there going, yeah, I don't know this, but I'm 20 minutes inside of this place in the dark. And Dave, my friends, tell me, yeah, man, they had it all over the radio, and look out for a blue van and all this stuff. And so I finally, after 20 minutes, I stick my head out the door, and I see all the cops everywhere, and I walk over, and Dave goes, there he is. And so I was safe, and the police took the report, took us downtown and everything, and we got this big report. All right. So 2 weeks later, my friend and I are at high school, or I had to go for an orthodontia appointment, so I wasn't there. And Dave called me up when I got home. He says, they caught the guy. And I said, you're kidding me. They caught him? He goes, yeah, they caught him. We got to go downtown to the police station right now. So we go there, and the detective met me and Dave, and he separated us. And he said, okay, now it says, believe it or not, Matt, he says, he's one of your, he's a senior in your high school. And I said, really? Okay. And so he hands me the annual, and he says, the annual, well, the picture taken, he says, who is he? See if you can identify him. And he had long blonde hair down to his shoulders. And I looked, and I says, I don't see him. And he goes, look, this is your last time. You look again very carefully, because if you can't identify him, we got to let this guy go. And I said, okay, I'll look carefully. And I looked carefully. I said, I don't recognize him. And he goes, okay, there's our case. It's blown. And I said, well, who is it? And he points to this guy, and it was a friend of mine. I know this guy. He was in my trigonometry class. I said, no, it's not him. He's a friend of mine. And I said, and he goes, oh, you're protecting him? I said, no, I'm not. I'd tell you if it was him, but it's not him. I said, it was somebody else. He had the same MO, the same van, the whole bit, but it wasn't him. And I knew it for a fact, and I wasn't going to lie. And so that's what happened. I never found out. And I might call my friend today and say, hey, Dave, remember 47 years ago? So there you go. It's an anniversary. And I thought I would tell you, because some people in the chat room were going, well, what happened? That was a couple days ago, a few days ago. So there you go. All right. 4 open lines. If you want to give me a call, 877-207-2276. We have 4 open lines. Give me a call. Let's get to Rudolph. I just want to see a reindeer all the time. From North Carolina. Welcome. You're on the air.
How you doing? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. I don't believe this, but I figured if anyone might know, you would know. I was on online today and on my Echo Dot, and I was asking about Solomon's Temple, and it said that the third temple was in construction by BibleWheel.com. And I don't believe that, because if the third temple was in construction, that's kind of a big deal for prophecy people. And I just can't see that being true. Did you know about that?
Well, the second temple was destroyed in 587,
70 AD.
something like that. Well, the first one was. That's right. Second one was destroyed in 70 AD. That's correct. Thank you. And so the third one, some people say, will be built during the tribulation period or just prior to it.
Yes, sir.
So I don't know,
It's not under. Have you heard anything about it being under construction?
about being what?
It being under construction right now.
I have heard that they have the ashes of the red heifer, and that priests are being trained for temple sacrifice procedures, and that there are plans to rebuild the temple in the work. The archaeological site is right next to the Dome of the Mosque, and the Dome of the Mosque archaeologically is in the Court of the Gentiles. So there's the temple, and then the Court of the Gentiles, and so the temple could theoretically be rebuilt. So hold on, we got a break, okay? Hey, folks, 4 open lines. Why don't you give me a call? 877-207-2276. We'll be right back. Please stay tuned.
How many times have you come to your end of your resources and said to yourself, this is where I will settle? And God is saying, no, I want to take you further.
Dr. Michael Youssef.
Don't let fear keep you from going further. Don't let fatigue stop you from climbing the mountain of God.
Join Dr. Michael Youssef this week on Leading the Way.
Hey everyone, I'm Maria Bear, writer and co-host of Breakpoint This Week, your weekly conversation on news and culture from a Christian worldview perspective. I'm inviting you to join me and John Stonestreet each weekend right here on this station for a 30-minute look through what's happening in our world and how we as Christians should respond with truth and love together.
We live in an on-demand world. Time, weather, meals, and content. That's why the Truth Network has the Truth Podcast Network. Some of your favorite Truth Network programs, plus some that are podcast only. Rich content that is rich in the Word.
Truth for a New Generation with Alex McFarland podcast is content for all generations of Christians. Alex is an apologetics author and speaker. Alex's greatest passion is fueling any Christian's faith and giving all the stuff needed to do the same. Truth for a New Generation podcast at truthnetwork.com.
Are you a grace car driver?
Staying on the highway with the Christian Car Guy.
Recently, I asked folks to call in with their tips on how to react gracefully to someone coming into your lane while texting or merging in on you when it said lane ends 5 miles back. What is the self-talk of a grace car driver? I really didn't have an answer and was hoping someone would share something I could use. Someone did. They called in and told us, pray for the offender. Wow.
Staying on the highway with the Christian Car Guy. For more tips, go to ChristianCarGuy.com.
Next time on Focus on the Family, Dr. Tony Evans explains what it means to have a kingdom marriage under God's authority and for His glory. He shares about maintaining oneness, the importance of having a servant's heart, and how to rebuild a marriage relationship that's been fractured. God's wisdom for your marriage on the next Focus on the Family.
Join us for Science, Scripture, and Salvation, a radio ministry of the Institute for Creation Research. We want to encourage you in your Christian faith by showing how scientific evidence supports the Bible, particularly the Genesis account. When we see that the first and most foundational book of the Bible can be trusted in all matters, including science, it builds confidence in the rest of the inspired Word all the way to Revelation.
It's Matt Slick Live, taking your calls at 877-207-2276. Here's Matt Slick.
All right, welcome back, everyone. We have 4 open lines. Why don't you give me a call? 877-207-2276. All right, give me a call, okay? And let's get back on the line with Rudolph. All right, welcome. So, Third Temple, go ahead.
I finished with that, but have you ever heard of that BibleWheel.com place? Have you ever heard of it?
No. Figure it out. I don't know. I don't know. I don't see anything. Why? What's it about?
I don't know. I was just on Echo.com, and they came up with the third. That's what they said. 30 temples is in construction. I was like, what? I never heard that.
I don't know. Maybe it is, but I don't know.
Okay. I don't know if you. I want to thank you for your help on that. But yesterday, the 31st, was the Reformation anniversary.
Yes.
Did you know that?
Yes.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that's when Martin Luther nailed his 95 Theses on the Wittenberg door. I have them reproduced on my website, and I would suggest people read them. It takes about 15 minutes, but it's worth reading to see what they were saying. Yeah, and it helped change history. Yeah.
Sure did.
That's right.
I'm a Protestant because of it.
Okay.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome, man. God bless. All right. 3 open lines, 877-207-2276. Martin from Virginia. Welcome. You're on the air.
Hey, Matt. Hey, thanks for your ministry.
Sure.
Good talking to you again.
Uh-huh.
Hey, I think your first caller had mentioned something about the third temple or the rebuilding of the temple.
Right.
So about 2 or 3 weeks ago, you're on the same station here. It's called the Truth Temple.
Right.
And there's a Jewish show that's on, and they talk about Jewish prophecies, and they were talking about how several months ago a certain type of insect has finally shown up, and it's been very prevalent.
Insect?
And some of the Jewish ladies.
You mean an insect, like a bug?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like an insect or a bug. And they've been harvesting it for the red dye. It's a specific red dye, and by temple law, only that dye can be used for certain colorings in the temple. for them in gathering that as much as they can right now. I wish I was near a computer and I
That's all right.
research before I called you, but
Manufacturing
Cool. Yeah,
of unique red dye for Third Temple begins. This is Israel365news.com. Yeah.
oh, you found something. Okay.
Yeah, well, I just did a search, crimson wool, and just found the first website. So Orna collects tiny insects that once a year produced a flame-colored dye that was used in the temple. Okay. And trying to
Yeah,
get a
and they were
picture.
saying something that this year was especially prevalent for that type of insect. They said they rarely see it that much.
Well, yeah, it's really small. It's like the size of a pea. You know, a little green pea.
Oh my goodness, they better harvest quite a bit.
Yeah. And interesting. Wow. Yeah. How about that? No, I didn't know about that. But yeah, I have heard various things over the years, you know, that I believe that the temple has to be rebuilt by prophecy because the Antichrist has to go in and offer sacrifice or, you know, abomination in there. And so I think that's what happened. But also, like I said earlier, the Court of the Gentiles archaeologically is where the Dome of the Rock is found. And so they can build a temple next to it, which, can you imagine the tension? Wow.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's tension enough there right now.
Yep. Yeah, there is. And yeah. So there you go. All right.
Yeah, I just thought I'd throw that in there. Just interesting stuff for these times.
Yeah. Yeah, I appreciate that. I didn't know that. So just another bit of information. The red dye that they need is being produced. There's a video out. I think you can get it on YouTube. I cannot remember what it is. Maybe Charlie's in the room. He knows it better than I do. A detective and an atheist guy or something. They went and they took a camera and they followed the Exodus route. Biblically, they just went literally, you know, drove, walked, you know, horse, whatever it is, and they found it looks like the altar that was built. They found it. It's in Arabia, and there's some interesting, very interesting. I'm trying to remember it. Some comments made by some of the villagers in the area. There were these caves that are mentioned in the Bible that they traveled by, and the locals called them the caves of Moses. And then they went up on a mountain. They could look down and they could see the 12 altars or something built around this one area. It all fits. And they found the hilltops, and that they have a picture from far off, and they look burned. Like they've been turned upside down, dipped in chocolate, and then turned right back side up. It's called Search for the Real Mount Sinai.
Did they date?
No,
Did they date some of that stuff?
No. What they did was, let's just say, illegal. If they'd have got caught, they'd have been in trouble. So
Okay, right.
that's what I understand. So it's called the Search for the Real Mount, or what was it? Mount Sinai. And it's really interesting. It's worth looking at. Watch the Search for the Real Mount Sinai Prime Video. Yeah, and it's worth looking at. I recommend it because it's not just slumpy bad. These guys talk about it. They show the videos. They show the stuff. They show it's interesting. So it's worth looking at.
Yeah, that's just I'll check that out tonight. Yeah, I'm gonna do a little more research there and get out and vote McAuliffe out of Virginia governorship and hopefully get Youngkin in.
Yeah, did you hear what he's doing now? He's starting to talk about refunding the police and getting all this protection and these lying sacks of hypocrisy. You know, if
oh my goodness, yeah, it's just been 2 weeks of his talking out of both sides of his mouth.
That's crazy. How come people just they're hypocrites? Just get rid of them. You know, jeez.
Yeah, politicians. I mean, it takes a special kind to be that kind of politician, and
yeah. Well, yeah. It's which way is the wind blowing? That's what the politicians do. You want to look for people that have character and say, no, this is what my position is. This is what I hold to. This is it. And but no, these Democrats, they say whatever they can say to get in office, and then they go against what they said they were going to do, or they make things worse. Yeah, and the Republicans are much
I mean,
better.
there's some good folks out there. I mean, I'm all for term limits, but when you get someone like Senator Manchin, who said what he said today. It's like,
What did he say
I
today?
just respect what he said. And he offered up his opinion of this tremendous atrocity of a bailout bill. How he said we need to be more real.
Need to be more what? You broke up. Great. We lost him. Oh, okay. I'll have to find out later. Okay. Well, sorry about that, Martin.
I can't support it right now.
Oh, there you go. You broke up for like 15 seconds. So
Oh, I apologize.
anyway, there's a break. Anyway, we'll get going. Okay, buddy?
Exposed.
That's good.
Yeah, all right. Thanks. Bye.
All right, man. God bless. Hey, folks, there's the break. We have two open lines, 877-207-2276. Give me a call. We'll be right back.
As retailers gear up for the Christmas shopping season and worry about shipping delays that will affect their inventory, what can you do? What should you be doing now to make sure you are truly ready for Christmas? Set aside some time this week to consider the real meaning of Christmas. Join John MacArthur here on Grace to You.
I've realized that Jerusalem belongs to God as no other city ever has or ever will. There's a biblical sense in which Jerusalem is eternal and will never die. Jerusalem is God's own unique eternal city. Join Dr. David Jeremiah for a geographical prophecy, Jerusalem, on the next Turning Point Weekend Edition.
How much time did you spend today looking at a screen of some sort? David Murrow's got the averages.
There was a study done by Nielsen Media Research, and they found that the average North American spends about 9 hours of their free time every day looking at screen content.
We'll talk about what happens to our lives and our relationships when we are drowning in screen time. This week on Family Life Today with Dave and Ann Wilson.
Plan to be with us for A Call to the Nation, a weekly message by Carter Conlon from Times Square Church in New York City.
There's only one voice left. And from time to time throughout history, we get to this same place over and over again where there is no hope apart from the voice of God.
Make this your place to be each week for a powerful message from God's Word with Pastor Carter Conlon here on A Call to the Nation.
This week, Chuck Swindoll draws insight for living from the deep well of Matthew's Gospel.
When you face a dilemma, listen to the quiet voice of integrity, not the shout of the majority. The majority is seldom right.
Chuck Swindoll's comprehensive study through the book of Matthew is coming to a crescendo. Join us this week to hear Insight for Living.
Your will must always be the engine. Your emotions must always be the caboose.
Dr. Tony Evans says there's danger when we let the feelings we can't control guide us.
The moment the caboose is pulling the train, your journey is in trouble.
Personal and powerful messages on living with loss. This week on The Alternative with Dr. Tony Evans.
It's Matt Slick Live, taking your calls at 877-207-2276. Here's Matt Slick.
All right, and welcome back to the show. Two open lines, 877-207-2276. Ken from Des Moines, Iowa. Welcome. You're on the air. Hello?
Is it me?
Yes. Yes, Ken. You're on the
Hey,
air.
sorry about that.
That's all right.
I just have a question, sir.
Sure.
It's about the giant and possible origin of demons.
Yes.
It was talking about, I just want your take on this. I've heard that it could possibly be from a combination of an immortal fallen angel, because angels are still angels, even if they're fallen, correct? They did not change form.
Right.
If I'm
Yes, you're talking about
And
Genesis 6. Yep, about the fallen angels that had relations with women and produced the offspring called the Nephilim. Mm-hmm.
Correct.
Yeah.
And I was wondering, is that the origin of demons when a Nephilim dies? Is that why demons have to have a human host where angels can appear as a human whenever they want to? They can just, they don't need a human host to be here in this realm.
That's one of the theories, is that when the flood came to destroy all the half-breeds, that the released spirits are the demonic forces that want to be inhabiting human bodies. That's just one of the theories. We don't know for sure.
Okay. There's no scripture to back that up, though, yeah?
Yes, there is. If you go to Genesis chapter 6, it talks about the Nephilim, and it says in verse 9 that Noah was perfect in all his generations. And it's talking about his ancestry, so it certainly seems to be the case that it was the half-breed situation. That was the position that the Jews have held and have still hold. And what the Christian church held up to about, I forgot how many years, hundreds of years after Christ was crucified. But the church held that too, and then when it got ridiculed, then the Sethite theory came in, that it was just the men of renown, but I don't buy into it. And Jesus says, as it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be again the days of the coming Son of Man. So it looks like the same kind of a thing will be going on again, and there's some interesting theories that have come out of that as well. We don't know for sure, we just know that there's some interesting theory stuff. So, okay.
There's some talk I've heard of that, they're saying that aliens can be, actually demonic forces, and
yes,
that they're trying to come back that way. I think, I don't know if I believe all that, but it's one of those things where I don't know that I don't.
Well, here's the thing.
There's no way to prove it either way.
Here's the thing. Mathematically, life can't form by chance anywhere in the universe. I can go through and explain it, but it has to do with permutability of deoxyribonucleic acid, the nucleotide bond pairs that go into DNA, things like this. And the mathematics against life forming by chance are just phenomenally impossible. But people will say, well, if it's like 10 to the 30,000th power, 1 in 10 to the 30,000th power, see, that's still a possibility. Well, the number of atoms in the universe is something like 10 to the 80th, the entire universe, just 10 to the 80th. And the odds of certain enzymes coming together like 10 to the 20,000th power. It's insane. It's just not going to happen. And for life to form. So what are these things out there? Well, a lot of people don't know this, but there's our reports, and you can go to khouse.org, letter K, house.org, and you can get reports there and information about the abductions. Apparently, a lot of the abductees report that the so-called aliens teach theology, and the theology is that reincarnation is true, we're all divine, and Jesus is not God in flesh. And only one a Christian woman, ever been abducted, and she had to give permission. And when people cry out to Jesus in the middle of their abductions, the abduction ends. So, interesting. Yeah, these are some of the facts. And what do you do with these kind of things? Well, you got to just do what you can. Okay.
Yeah. All right, sir.
These
Thank you.
Love
the show.
All right, man. Yeah, those are just some of the theories that are out there. All right. Okay, buddy.
I'll look at the K-House. Thank you, sir.
Sure. All right. Good stuff. All right. Let's get to Paula from North Carolina, whom we lost. We have 4 open lines. If you want to give me a call, 877-207-2276. Let's see. 4 open lines. Give me a call, folks. Let's get to Charlie. Oh, hey, it's Charlie. My buddy, Charlie. Hey, Chuck. What's up, man?
That is me, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, everybody, this is Charlie. He works with me. He does stuff for Carm. He's a great guy. We've known each other 41 or so years, and he's the guy who read me the quote that got me started in apologetics. So anyway, go ahead.
Oh, now that you told him that, he's not going to let me through next time. So.
Now they know who to blame.
Anyway,
that's right.
On the topic of the worm, when Christ quoted Psalm 22,
Mm-hmm.
in that psalm, the person refers to himself as a worm. I am but a worm. And they're referring to the scarlet worm, which is a female worm. It's a specialized worm that lays its eggs and affixes herself to a wooden surface on which she will die. And after that, the young are born and nourished, and the wood, her body, and the young are reddened by the scarlet crimson she gives off, and that's what they would make the crimson dye out. He compared himself to the crimson worm that gives up its life for its young. And a lot of scholars have said that that's a picture or an image of the peace we have through the blood of Christ in Colossians 1:20. So it's a very specialized worm that is mentioned in that psalm, and it's just interesting and fascinating sometimes to know of how it gives up its life for its young on a piece of wood.
Cool. Yeah, I like that. So you got some good information there.
Well, I like bugs, but especially when I found out about this from
you like bugs?
Henry Morris told me of this a long time ago when I got my Defender's Bible Study Defender's Study Bible signed by Henry. He told me about that. He was in his 80s, and man, his handshake was like a vice. You know, he was really cooking.
Good.
Yeah.
Good,
But it was a story I never forgot, and it's something that made me to dig in to see the life cycle of the crimson worm, where it actually also gives off at a certain part of its life cycle white as wool flakes that appear like pieces of wool. So though our skins are scarlet, yet they will be washed, and then we will be white as snow. So there's a lot of pictures in the language that are friendly toward the Christian gospel.
Cool. I like it.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Well, I'm glad you do. Well, okay. Well, I'll get back on and do my job.
All right, buddy. God bless, man. Thanks.
All right. You too. Bye.
Okay. All right. That was Charlie. Good buddy of mine. Great guy. All right. Let's get on lines with Roger from North Carolina. Roger, welcome. You're on the air.
Hey, how we doing, Matt?
Doing all right. Hanging in there.
My question is, I've got a friend actually that believes Christianity is pretty much accept Christ and do good work, and that's pretty much that's how he thinks about it. It's like Christian moralism, I guess.
Well, what do you mean, accept Christ and do good works? I mean, that could be theologically very good. It could be theologically very bad, just depending on what he means by those things. So,
Well, it means, to be a Christian, you just accept Christ and then you just help others. That's the whole purpose.
well, in a sense, we trust in Christ, and then we love God and love our neighbor, and we're to bring glory to God. We're not to lie or cheat or steal, and to love our neighbor and to love God means we don't do these things. So that's correct. So I'm not sure what else is going on. You have you're not so sure about it. So I'm not sure what you're so unsure about.
Well, and the thing about it is that, you acknowledge, Christ, and then the thing about being a Christian is you help others. And if you don't help others, it's because you're not a Christian. I don't know.
Well, there's some truth to that, because the Bible says if you say you know him and don't keep his commandments, the truth is not in you and you're a liar. That's 1 John 2:4. So if we're Christians, we're supposed to manifest our Christianity because our hearts are changed. And so therefore we will love God, we will love our neighbor. And in so doing, we fulfill the law. So so far, there's not really a problem. If this person is thinking that just receive Christ, do good works, etc., is an intellectual only venture, then that would be a problem, because it's not just an intellectual acceptance of Christ; it's an actual heartfelt trust in His sacrificial offering for our sins to the Father, and so that's what that means. And then in that we are born again, and in born again we're indwelt by God, and we do good works. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I agree with that.
All right, buddy. Good. Okay, God bless, man. Thanks. There's a break. Hey, folks, we have 4 open lines. If you want to give me a call, 4 open lines, 877-207-2276. We'll be right back.
Dr. Charles Stanley.
It isn't just a little thing. It's gratitude. It's overflowing. That is, we are so grateful about what God has done in our life and what he's doing. We can't keep it to ourselves. That's why I can't imagine anybody not being willing to share their faith. Look what you've got to tell.
The teaching of Dr. Charles Stanley on In Touch, helping you grow in Christ every day.
It's hard to believe there are couples who've been married for 30, 40, or even 50 years. So what's their secret? Next on Living on the Edge with Chip Ingram, Chip shares the newest volume in his ongoing series, Keeping Love Alive. He begins unpacking 4 biblical skills all great marriages have in common. Discover how you can improve your relationship today. Don't miss Living on the Edge with Chip Ingram.
We live in an on-demand world. Time, weather, meals, and content. That's why the Truth Network has the Truth Podcast Network. Some of your favorite Truth Network programs, plus some that are podcast only. Rich content that is rich in the Word.
The Truth Network's Lantern Rescue podcast sheds light on the horror of human trafficking. Listen to the knit and grit it takes to make these international rescue operations possible. With God's help, the USA-based Lantern Rescue team travels the world, and they have so many stories to share. The Lantern Rescue podcast at truthnetwork.com.
Our problems can cause worry and anxiety, and worry and anxiety make it difficult to solve the problems. This week on A New Beginning, Pastor Greg Laurie helps us find relief in the book of Romans. We'll see the Lord stands ready to help us and stands with us in our times of trial. Be listening this week for A New Beginning.
How many times have you come to your end of your resources and said to yourself, this is where I will settle? And God is saying, no, I want to take you further.
Dr. Michael Youssef.
Don't let fear keep you from going further. Don't let fatigue stop you from climbing the mountain of God.
Join Dr. Michael Youssef this week on Leading the Way.
Hey everyone, I'm Maria Bear, writer and co-host of Breakpoint This Week, your weekly conversation on news and culture from a Christian worldview perspective. I'm inviting you to join me and John Stonestreet each weekend right here on this station for a 30-minute look through what's happening in our world and how we as Christians should respond with truth and love together.
It's Matt Slick Live, taking your calls at 877-207-2276. Here's Matt Slick.
All right, everyone, welcome back to the show. Let's see. Let's get on the air with Erica from North Carolina. Welcome. You're on the air. Erica, are you there?
Oh, hi. Wow, you
Hello.
talk so softly. I could barely hear you.
Oh, sorry about that. So there you go.
Much better. And I'm on these Bluetooth headphone thingies, and
Okay.
kind of like the wind tunnel situation. But
That's all right. You sound okay. So how you doing? What do you got?
I'm blessed and highly favored.
Oh, amen.
And you?
It's same. More than I deserve, that's for sure.
I know that's right. Yes, preach. And I'm enjoying your show. It used to come in much clearer, because I have to listen to it for the most part in the car, although I will be listening online more often. And only in the past few weeks, the station has gotten really grainy. And
Really?
I don't know what the interference is, but it's a shame because it used to come in so crystal clear now. Now it's just all kind of interference.
You should email them and let them know. You can go to thetruthnetwork.com. I think it's the
Sure, I certainly will.
truthnetwork.com. Maybe it's just Truth Network. Okay, I'm just trying to find out.
Oh, that's fine because I was already
Yeah,
I was already online listening because I was listening to your story and it kept breaking up so daggone bad. I was so mad because I wanted to hear what happened. I was like riveted, like, oh, the fight I'm like, oh my goodness, somebody was trying to accost you and your friend.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, so I went online to try to hear the rest of it, and by then, with it being live, it was already done, you know.
Well, yeah, it was. It's close. I've got lots of stories. In fact, I've been thinking about putting them on video, just telling them, because when I tell people my stories, they're really surprised. I got stories of that, of my car accident, of death threats from Satanists, the pastorate issue. I've got stories. I've got some stories that people would think they weren't real because of the coincidences, but they are.
Wow.
So, oh yeah.
Wow. And can I follow you on YouTube? Are you on YouTube?
Yes, you have to go to Matt Slick YouTube, because some doofus atheist, self-righteous guy says that I'm not allowed to talk about COVID on the radio, and so he didn't want me talking about it. So he complained and
Jab, blah blah blah.
yeah. And I'm finding all kinds of stuff about the jab, and I'll tell you, I want nothing to do with
Me
it.
too. Oh yeah, we're gonna keep in contact most definitely. But
Yeah, go to my website and look
but,
at carm.org/COVID and go through some of the tables and stuff. I try to make everything interesting and easy, but I'll tell you, I mean, was it Wales?
I did my research.
The country of Wales just.
You're preaching to the choir over here.
Oh.
I'm telling you.
Well, check this out. Listen to this.
Yeah, because I've been.
2/3 2/3 of hospitalizations in Wales are from people with COVID, are people who've already been vaccinated.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. And yeah, we already know that.
Yeah.
And we'll listen to this, and because there's a lot of grassroots ministers, people on YouTube trying to get the word out, different things that God has revealed to them. And I'm listening yesterday, and the woman literally confirmed what I had, all the research that I have been doing in this past year in regard to COVID and the shot and everything. And here she talks about CERN and how what they're trying to do is turn off that God gene that's in all of us. And by doing these boosters and things like that, they want to diminish this God gene. So
I'm not sure what that is. I got to check it out. Send me some information on that, and I'll check it out. You never know.
Yeah, I certainly will. It was so deep, and I was like, well, there it is. That was confirmation I've been waiting for from God, and it just brought everything to the full understanding of everything that all the research I've done in regard to the Luciferays and yeah. But anyway, I digress. So the reason for my call was twofold. So the first part was a comment. Have you heard of or seen anything in regard to the North Carolina Lieutenant Governor Mark Robinson,
No.
the stance that he's taken
Nope, don't know about him.
against the LGBT community
He is good for him.
recently? So let me give you a little background there. So that he has been trying to get these children's books out of school libraries.
They're evil.
That were found. Excuse me?
They're evil books. Yep.
Right. In regard to the, being transgender and all of that. And
Yeah, brainwashing children. Yep.
Exactly. And he is trying, he's really, really been speaking out against it, trying to get these books out of the schools. And he was on the local news, one of the CBS affiliates here, and he was speaking at a church, and he was breaking it down. He's talking about, I don't care. It's only two. It's male and female. There's nothing else, and it's a powerful video, and you gotta find it.
Just send it to me. Send it at info@carm.org. We have a huge folder of information that people have been sending me stuff. I've got 59 emails to go through just on that. And that's just to sort them. and then there's more to go through.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Say
Yeah.
the email address again.
Just
please.
info@carm.org, CARM.org. All right.
CARM as in Mary.
Yep, Christian Apologetics Research Ministry.org. It's had 147 million visitors. I've been working on it for 26 years, and that's where I make my living. And we have missionaries in Turkey and Africa and 2 in South America. So yeah, check it out. Okay.
Okay. You looking for help with your blog at all? Input.
Well,
people to.
We appreciate that, but anybody who's got to work with us has to know their theology very well, and that's not very many people. So there's reasons for it. But yeah. Okay.
Okay. Well, so that brings me to my actual question.
Good.
So that's a great segue.
All right.
So my question is actually trying to understand, or your thoughts, especially with all the research knowledge that you have. I'm trying to understand and grasp why much of the Christian faith, especially in the black churches, black community, why is it not an acceptance of the true Jesus, the true man that walked the earth, that was from Nazareth, the Middle East?
Wait a second. I'm curious. What are they teaching about Jesus?
So a lot of people are still like what it seems like to me anyway, and not just about Jesus, even like Moses. Was it Moses? No, Noah. Noah was the one that married the Ethiopian, right?
No, it's Moses.
The Cushite woman.
Yeah, Numbers 12.
Oh, that was Moses. Okay.
Right.
Okay. So, and it specifically in King James, it talks about her being an Ethiopian woman. And when a lot of the Old Testament, some of the descriptions of how.
Well, hold on.
For example,
so you have a question, though? I mean, what's your question? Because we can get back on track here.
Yeah. So my question is, why is there still not acceptance of this? Why
Of what?
does it seem like Christian?
I'm curious.
That's what let me get my question. So why is it that the Christian faith doesn't just wants to seem to consistently worship this Caesar Borgia image of Jesus and not embrace his true identity?
I'm not sure how to respond to that because I don't know what various churches are teaching within the Christian community or the black community, so I can't make a comment. I do know that Jesus Christ is God in flesh. He has 2 distinct natures, the divine nature and the human nature. And this union of natures occurred 2,000 years ago. And he will forever be in that condition and that state. He died on the cross, bore our sins in his body, rose from the dead 3 days later, the same body he died in, that was a glorified body. And he forever will be in that condition because he's our high priest after the order of Melchizedek, who lives forever to make intercession for us. So that's who he is. He's not the blonde-haired, blue-eyed Caucasian surfer Jesus dude that I talk about on the radio every now and then. So
exactly. And all the pictures that you see depicted in people's videos, inspirational videos and yada, yada, yada. Yeah. I'm like, why is it constantly?
Because we develop images of things we're comfortable with. White people like white people, black people like black people, Asian like Asian. We're just used to it, and it's neither good or bad. It's just what it is, and we just need to be aware of it and move forward through it. That's all. And so Jesus was probably
never made no Jesus Asian. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know.
I don't agree.
No, I've seen various things over the years, depictions. But the thing is that it's just what it is, and we just need to realize that Jesus is who he was. Don't think of him as any color. I don't. I just think of him as God in flesh, and that's it. I just leave it alone and talk to him. All right.
But it's about worshiping in spirit and in truth.
That's John 4:24. Yep.
So that's where I'm going with that.
You have to know who he is to do that. And the pastors need to know who he is and teach doctrine. They need to teach doctrine from the pulpit. The Trinity, hypostatic union, communicatio idiomatum, imputation, justification, propitiation, election, predestination. They need to teach these things.
Yeah, very much so. Thank you so much for your time, and I will definitely be keeping in contact with you. You haven't heard the last of me. I'm glad I called.
Okay, Erica. Well, God bless. All right.
You
I cut her off. Sorry about that. Hey, folks, just remember, we've got a large website out there, carm.org. It's a site that we've been working on, or I've been working on, and headed up 26 years ago. So check it out, all right? carm.org. There's a great deal of information on there. Let's get to Fred from Minnesota. Fred, welcome. You're on the air.
Hi, I was on the debate last week about, I had the question about Elohim.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And what I got from Messianic Jews is that it was God plural more than two, but like a compound unity, not like mythology where they're all fighting with each other, but compound unity. And you seem to think it was something different. And
wow. Oh, man, we're out of time.
Where it did say plural.
We're out of time. What? Call back tomorrow. Let's talk about this, okay? And look up Deuteronomy 6:4 and the word one, O-N-E, and it'll help you too. But let's talk tomorrow, okay? Give me a call because we're out of time. Sorry about that, Dave from Utah, and sorry about the long wait. Hey, folks, by his grace, we'll be back on there tomorrow, and we'll talk to you then. So have a great evening, everyone. God bless. Bye. All right, everybody. Hope you're all having a good time. Got a few people in here really fast. And as usual, I'm always working on something.
Yeah, that one article's disjointed. One of the two new ones.
Okay.
I put it in the private chat.
All right. Let me just go do the update thing right now. Oh, actually, go right there. Bang. Uh-oh, I'm going to sneeze, I think.
Will that clear the cache?
My brain cache, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay, now try it. Actually, it's still clearing. Wow.
Actually, I forget which one it was. Well, that one's good.
Okay, now, there we go. That took a long time to clear. There's a lot of stuff in there. Yeah, I released an article today. Oh, it took me a long time to format it out and make it presentable. But there's a lot of information there. And,
yeah, they both look good now. I'll post them on Hoots.
Okay.
They'll go out in the next day or two.
All right. Yeah, I'm going to get back onto theology and stuff here pretty soon. Getting tired of working on COVID stuff. Now I got to run around and shake hands like with everyone, Matt. Oh, after the sneeze. Okay. Gotcha.
That's what Biden does. So
yeah, Biden can do it. I can do it. That's right. That's right. So how you guys all doing?
I'm doing well. In fact, better than normal. I got to share my little insight into the Crimson Worm. And when Jesus quoted that psalm and people wonder about that there's a lot of worms he could have written about in that psalm, but that's the particular one. And you got to kind of be picky to find it out. But when you do, you see so many things in this creation mirror what he's done for us. It's amazing.
Huh. Okay. Well, good. Oh. Well, we're getting rid of DirecTV.
I just got rid of mine and I went to that fiber optic TDS. So I won't rub it in how quick my up and downloads are.
No. Direct TV, the TV service.
Oh yeah, I got that as part of part of a package. But we're getting rid of the package it came with to save money.
Yeah, we're trying to cut costs here, and so that's what we're doing.
That was our idea exactly.
In fact, we went to, because we still want to see stuff, went to YouTube TV, and you get a lot of stuff, and there's a lot of advantages to it, and so we're trying that.
Well, the TDS guy told me they're in Meridian, which is not far from you.
The what is in Meridian?
The service I have, the fiber optic service.
Really?
He said they're going great guns down in your area.
Yeah, Meridian's hopping more than the city I'm in, but yeah. So
I knew it was somewhere in that neighborhood, but I didn't know if it overlapped or if you had the service or not.
By the way, Dave, you and I and Dave need to have probably a board meeting tomorrow. We've got some finance stuff from taxes to go over and approve, and that's it. We did it before. We got to do it again.
Okay. I'll take an aspirin prior to the meeting.
So Marlene says Pluto streaming is free. Yep. Yeah, we're trying to find something that'll have a lot of different shows and stuff that my wife likes certain things, I like certain things, and so anyway, we did that. But there you go.
Yeah, I found out this new service I got has more than I thought as far as streaming capabilities from different services. So I've tapped into a couple as I learned the ropes.
Good.
And Debbie was taken into the hospital just long enough to get an EKG and tell her she's in sinus rhythm and they can't touch her. Yeah, of course that's good. And so we came back home this morning and are rejoicing over that, and I appreciate the prayers for her.
Good.
And so she's now, if I can keep her under control, when she starts to feel good, she starts to overdo, and I gotta find a way to keep her from doing that. But sometimes there's no stopping her.
Yeah. Good. Okay. Yeah, so another article I'm working on, I might work on a little bit more today. Well, another one, the pandemic of the unvaccinated. I'm finding out information. So that it's not like the news media, there's a bunch of friggin' liars.
It's a never-ending black hole story, It's just
they're liars.
And it kind of sucks the life out of you after a while.
Yeah, I'm getting done with it. And I just got to figure some things out. There we go. I got another article just listing out the various side effects, and it'll be a significant article. I could probably release that in a couple hours. So I'm trying to find more stuff.
I think people know enough now to know that they got to do their research and make a wise and as much as of an informed decision as they possibly can.
That's right.
Other than that, I mean, what can you do? You put the information in their hands.
That's all I'm doing. The vaccines are saving lives. I'm not saying don't take them. I'm just saying, here's the information you need to know. That's all.
Just be smart about it. Sure.
That's right. Yep. Now blood clotting. Oh, excuse me, another issue that they're talking about. Look at this. Just found another one. Gee, it's just,
That's why I never read the side effects of the medicine I take, because I start to feel like I'm suffering from the side effects. So I put it down and don't read them anymore. Like, what do they call that? There's some kind of...
Yeah.
That they call it when people start thinking they got symptoms and stuff. Yeah.
Oh man, I know that word. I've said it 1,000 times. It's called. Oh my goodness.
I almost said kleptomania, but that's stealing things.
Oh.
I know what you're talking about.
What's that? Hypochondria. Thanks.
There you go.
Man, I've said
Yeah.
that 1,000 times, and then all of
Yeah.
a sudden,
See, I'd quit reading them so long ago, I couldn't even remember the words. So that's good.
yeah. I remember once I was this word. I'd said 1,000 times a day, and my brain went dink.
Yep.
I
Oh,
couldn't
and
remember
Helen
it.
writes psychosomatic. That's right.
Yeah.
You get the psychosomatic traits that they list on that thing, and it kind of takes over your mind. Yeah, forget about it.
That's right. Oh yeah. That's right. Psychosomatic and hypochondria. That's right. That is. All right. So, Bill, you going to say anything, or are you just wasting?
I'm just wasting away.
Oh, okay.
Away. No, they on the news today they said over 5 million people died worldwide of the COVID. I'm getting tired of hearing this stuff. I don't even watch the local news because the first 10 minutes is all about COVID deaths.
I know.
I'm just, I don't watch the news anymore. It's worthless.
Yeah, we watch Tucker Carlson and Hannity, and those have been insightful. Yeah,
I watched that San Diego startup. They're called One America News. They're pretty good. They're very independent.
Yes.
But they're not in my current package. Be right with you.
Okay.
So I've got a chickadee calling me. So I'm going to check out. But thanks a lot for the prayers, everybody. And I'll pass all your good wishes on to Deb. I've got her kind of sitting it out for a while. But if I know her, she'll be up and at 'em again, regardless of my efforts to keep her still. So.
All right.
Thanks. Okay.
Someone's got to keep in line, Charlie. Someone's got to keep you in line.
Well, yeah. See, when she has taken on the title of She Who Cooks, that gave her so much executive power around here. I've really got to walk a tightrope sometimes if I value my nourishment. So, all right. Take care, you guys.
All right.
All right. See you guys.
Can I ask you a quick question real quick?
Sure.
I'm on Galatians 6:8, talking about those who reap to the flesh will reap corruption, and those who reap to the will get everlasting life. What does that mean? What's that verse?
It means that if you reap to one, you get that, and you reap to another, you get that.
So so you get people that say, "Oh, there goes your once saved, always saved."
Okay. So I didn't know which context you were talking about, but ask them. Well, where does it say you lose your salvation?
They say if you're a Christian, you reap to the flesh, you'll lose your salvation.
Okay. Do Christians reap to the flesh? Ask them
Pardon?
questions. Do Christians reap to the flesh? Sow to the flesh?
No.
And ask them. So what does it mean to sow to the flesh? Ask them. What does it mean? You got to understand something. What they'll do is quote a couple of verses like this and say, "See, you can lose your salvation," and you say, "No, you can't," because. Just say, "Well, where does it say you can lose your salvation?"
Yeah.
Where does it say this? Well, if you sow flesh, you'll reap destruction. Okay. Yeah. So does that mean that they're saved to do that? And if they say yes, so Christians reap to the flesh? What does it mean to reap to the flesh? You have to ask them, and you'll find out. Well, it means to lie. Do you ever lie? Do you ever lust? Are you reaping to the flesh? And then you put it back on them. Say, well, are you keeping yourself right? And then that's what you do. Okay.
So when I translate that, those who reap, you lose the joy of your salvation if you reap to the flesh?
Well, first of all, is it talking about Christians? Okay. Always got to look at the context, all right? And you always read, bear one another's burdens. Verse 6, the one who's taught the word is to share good things with them who teaches. Do not be deceived. Good work. God is not mocked. Whatever a man sows, he is also reap. For the one who sows to the flesh. So that, these aren't Christians. Okay. Christians don't sow to the flesh. It means living in a fleshly, carnal desire. And the people who teach that they can lose their salvation don't really seem to understand what regeneration is. To them, a lot of times it's just an intellectual thing you follow, and then that's how you know, and you got to keep yourself right with God by that kind of stuff. So what you got to do is you got to work with that and get them to admit what it is that you're actually teaching, and then see if the text actually teaches that. That's what you do.
Yep. Did you hear about the Pope called Joe Biden a good Catholic?
Yeah, it just shows you the Pope doesn't know what he's doing.
Oh, yeah, he's just unregenerated. He's a God-hating Pope.
Yeah, he is. And a lot of Catholics don't like him. Lots.
Yeah, and they want him out.
Yep, that's right. So.
Hey, when's your next debate?
Well, we might have one on the 17th. We'll see. Supposed to be some pretty good he's supposed to be a pretty good guy and competent in debates towards oneness. So, okay. We'll see.
I'd love to see you debate a Seventh-day Adventist.
Yeah, I would too. I'd like to. Yeah. Well, we'll see.
Yeah. All righty, man. I got to go.
All right, buddy.
Yeah, love your
Sounds good. Okay.
Love your ministry.
All right, man. Talk to you guys later. I'm going to shut it down. Oh, there's Mark Antonio. Hey, buddy.
Hiya. I mean, if you've got to go somewhere, mate, I mean, I don't want to feel like I'm keeping you,
That's
so
all right.
I'll let you go if you want.
No, I'm literally working on an article while I'm sitting here. So it's just more to do. I go feed the cats, see my wife, stuff like that. And then that's all.
Yeah. I just wanted to ask you about the CARM schools.
About what? Oh, the schools. Okay. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Hold on. Just get somewhere. Right. Yeah. I'm just I'll just turn the camera off. Sorry. Yeah. Basically, I was reading through the how the schools work, like each section of them, and I got a bit lost and a bit confused, and I don't know where to start with it.
What I would do is hold on. Don't get them yet, because we're going to change them probably this week to a whole new format, whole new everything.
Will I get that on my school as well? Will it update my system?
Wait. I can't understand you. What?
So, will it update the material I've received as well?
I can't understand you. Sorry. There's something as well.
The material I received, the school I received.
Oh, you'll have the same access. It's just a different format. Everything's going to be the same as far as access goes. And if there's a problem, it's not because we don't want anybody to have it. It's because the database port over where it might, and people go, hey, I'm supposed to be on, but I don't have it. We'll hook them up really fast. No big deal.
Yeah. No,
it should be good.
Yeah. Because you mentioned about printing it out as well. Every time you.
I wouldn't do that for you. There's just too much. But we have the schools that I've done printed out with table of contents and an index. So, you can order those, but you can print them out. It's just people just don't realize there's just a lot of stuff. So if you want to print them out. But that's what it is.
Yeah, no worries. Anyway, if I've got any more questions, I'll let you know anyway. I'm going to get off now. Thanks anyway, Matt.
Okay, buddy. All right, man. God bless.
All right.
All right, everybody. I'm out of here. God bless. We'll see ya.